Indeed. Okay. So welcome, 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 everyone. Make sure you are tagging and make sure you are sharing. We are about to have this amazing plant-based conversation on Saturday. Okay. Come on, come on, come on in. We are excited about this. I mean, first and foremost, this is just going to be like a regular conversation because me and my sis, we talk all the time.
All
If
the
y'all
time.
didn't know, all the time, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, whether we're doing it on phone or text messaging
Yes.
and all the things. Hello, everybody. Hello. So, we know we are going into the new year. And so just definitely wanted to have a conversation with folks around, this whole plant-based thing that you probably are seeing a lot of and you're interested in all those good things. And so wanted to answer some questions because we both live this lifestyle
Yes.
for real. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later, for real. And so just wanted to like come on and share in conversation, just really laid back conversation. So we have some questions here too that we're gonna like address. But if you all have questions, make sure you chime those things in. I'm gonna be looking at the questions down here as well, since you may get some questions on your end, so we can go from that space too. You can also put your questions in the comment, but there's a little question mark down at the bottom if you have questions as well, and you can put those there too. So hopefully we'll be able to see those.
Yes.
Make sure you are tagging and sharing all your folks, all the things, because it's really, really going down. So, sis, look, plant-based conversation with myself. I'm Dr. Tionna Jenkins, founder and CEO of Plated Healthy and Oneida Leaf Foods, which is our food product line. And I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, if you all did not know. I'm a Southern girl, so hopefully you can, I'm sure you hear my twang and slang and all that good stuff. I'm a real doctor in real life. So PhD to be exact. So not, faking and fronting, but, really went to school for that. So kind of know a little bit of something about what I'm talking about. And sis, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? And we
Yes.
could just kind of go through that for people who may not know.
So I'm Aszure, aka Southern Vegan Eats here on the interwebs. So you guys can find me under all the social handles as Southern Vegan Eats. I have a cookbook available for you to purchase on Amazon, also called Southern Vegan Eats. I just released an ebook for a juice cleanse. It's a 5-day juice cleanse. It's going to include lots of juice recipes that are some of my favorites, as well as a activity milk and 2 ginger shots, 2 versions of 2 different ginger shots. But we are going to be talking about health because we need to get y'all there, and share because you need to get your family and your friends there. If you have any questions about veganism, we're going to answer those questions today.
Right. Right. Yes, because today is the day. And we don't necessarily have a time frame on this, so we're just going to go. I'm thinking about 30, 40, something odd minutes may be good. Unless you all have some, additional questions, and we can kind of go into that as well. Let's see. So we can get right into it. If you want to talk about a little bit about your background as far as like why you started, how long you've been plant-based or vegan and things like that. And we can kind of go through the definitions of that too, because there's a difference between being plant-based, vegan, and raw, and whole food plant-based, all the terms.
Yes, that is very true. So we can talk about that too. So I'll start by how I ended up in this vegan lifestyle.
Okay.
And so plant-based would definitely be the better term to use. I eat a vegan diet. I do not eat anything that has animal products. Vegan is a very popular word. Most people know exactly what that means when you tell them that you're vegan. And that's why we use the word vegan so much in the community. It just means we're not eating anything that is made of animals. That's what the term means when you're looking at it kind of general. But when you look at it as a whole, it also includes not causing any harm to animals. Now,
Right.
For the Black community, a lot of times you find that people go vegan for their health. So there's the aspect where people that go vegan for the earth and for the animals, then they kind of maybe a little bit standoffish to the ones who went vegan for their health. But there's a difference. So vegan for your health, you're worried about making sure that you're eating plant-based, whole foods, nothing processed. You may have some processed things here and there, but you're really making sure that most of your diet is a plant-based diet, meaning whole plant-based foods, things that you're making from scratch.
Right.
So
So let's
I
get So let's get into that, sis. What is plant based, okay, versus vegan versus whole food plant based versus raw? Let's get into it because we don't want to like have confusion around the terms as we go into 2023 or just period. Okay, we want to have some clarity. So let's get into that.
So plant-based, a person is plant-based could still eat animals. It just means that they are heavily eating a lot of plants and vegetables. Those are people who can go in the grocery store and purchase a processed item that says it's plant-based, but it still may have milk and dairy, eggs and things like that in it, but is a plant-based item, meaning it's a higher percentage that it was made from plants. So that's the difference. A plant-based person is not the same as a vegan person. Vegan, like I said, those are people who are normally, the term is coined, they're concerned with the planet, they're concerned with the animals, and they're concerned with, with eating only things that are not related to animals as well. Whole foods, that's when you're eating clean foods. You're eating super clean. So it's kind of, you're staying away from the processed things. Those people are still eating animals, but it's more organic. It's more natural. Locally grown, things like that. That's what you think of when you think of whole plant-based, whole foods. A whole plant-based person would be someone who eats clean and mostly plant-based. You have whole plant-based vegans. That means they eat clean, mostly plant-based, and mostly vegan. That's us right here.
Yes. That's us right here. That's why we jive so well, okay? Not to say that we don't necessarily have a little bit of the junk vegan food, right? Still no animals in that food, but we are about 99.9%.
Yes, eating super clean. And raw vegan, which we both love, raw vegan is when all of the things that you eat are completely raw. So of course there's going to be no animals involved. Raw vegan is going to be fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, nothing in the canned goods section. I be seeing y'all on here eating raw vegan, talking about you having some chickpeas from the can. That is not raw vegan.
Bless it.
So yeah, so you want to make sure that you're eating it's a whole plant-based diet where everything everything that you're eating is from the earth, nuts and seeds, like I said. And it goes deeper depending on where you're trying to achieve with raw vegan. But raw vegan basically means vegan food that is not cooked or processed. No processed foods at all.
Right. And hello, everybody that's now joining. Make sure you're tagging your folks and you're sharing people with your network on Instagram and as a whole. We're having a casual plant-based conversation because I know many people, and I mean many folks, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Have lots of questions around this lifestyle, and so they're like, yes, I am about to get into this plant-based, vegan, whole food, raw, whatever. Who is doing it and who is doing it for real? Well, you have two people here that's living this lifestyle for real, on and off the camera. Okay, this is not just for the IG. Okay, this is not just for social media. We kind of already did our introductions in the beginning, but Dr. Tionna Jenkins, we have Southern Vegan Eats here, who is a really good friend in real life. And so, so you can definitely join this conversation, tag your folks, tag your family. You're going into this lifestyle. You want some really good guidance. We both have products and services that we offer. We're going to talk about that too as well a little bit towards the end on some things and some collaborations that we have coming together for 2023.
Ready.
To help the people in these interwebs, okay? But yeah, so thank you for going through that clarity, because I think a lot of times people are just confused. They're excited about this lifestyle and they want to know more, but it's just so much that is like out there now. When I started 8 years ago, a little bit about my background too, I started because of health reasons, right? So I've been in healthcare, working in the space of public health for over 15 years, educating individuals on healthy living, healthy lifestyles, and things of that nature. But I wasn't necessarily living the lifestyle that 15 years ago, right? So we have a lot of folks, and I can say this, that work in the healthcare space, that we're not 100% at where we need to be. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. Okay. So needed to really transition because I was having all types of challenges where it was pre-diabetic, I was overweight, had anxiety, all these kind of things. And so I had been knowing about the plant-based, lifestyle for quite some time, but I was like, I don't know if I really want to commit to that. That seems a little extra. Everybody, is eating greens and hugging trees. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm just being real, okay? And so did some more research around it because plant-based, and I'm using that loosely, but vegan, whole food, plant-based, so we're going to use the terms correctly, is evidence-based research. It is shown within the literature around evidence-based articles, journals, and things of such, that if you consume a more whole food, plant-based lifestyle, that you can address preventable chronic diseases. Yes, it's true. Okay. So what the people were telling you back in the day about eating your fruits and your vegetables, that was real.
The truth.
And so we have all the research to prove it in the public health space, but it's still very hard for people to adapt to their lifestyle because, honestly, it's not really convenient. So when I started 8 years ago, and my recipes were not fabulous as they look now, did not taste as amazing as they do now. But that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we have evolved. Yeah. Okay. And so needed to, like I said, really had to address health issues because I was having all these health issues. The illnesses run in my family, and not because of a genetic trait, because genetics is only about 10% or so of the reason why you have these chronic diseases. It's really lifestyle behavior, your chronic stress levels, and things of that nature. So this is the same old thing that we public health professionals have been preaching since forever. Okay. So it's your lifestyle, chronic stress, all those things that play 80 to 90% of the reason why you have these things happening, right? And so I needed to change that. One, because I'm real and needed to make sure that I was putting out in the environment what I, professed. Yeah. And two, I just needed to lose, weight because I was overweight. And I was, pre-diabetic and all those things, right? Because just because we are over 35, over 40, does not mean that we need to sag. I'm team no sag, okay?
Want everything in the same place it was 10 years ago.
Okay. I'm gonna need it to move up, okay? I'm team no sag. Team. I don't like anything hanging where it's not supposed to be hanging. So we talk about this all the time. So you will see a myriad of things on my page. I do work out quite a bit. However, my primary thing is healthy food, all right? And meaning healthy in the terms of vegan and whole food, plant-based. So do a lot of things, from the earth and things like that. So that's a little bit about me. Always health focused. I know there are other reasons why people go plant-based or people go vegan or whole food plant-based. I totally understand that. My primary reason was because of health. And a lot of times people do that because of health. They have some challenge or issue that they want to address. So sis, how do you start and stay consistent? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I'm going to touch really quickly back on why I went vegan too. It was definitely.
And I'm going to check the questions. I see a couple of questions too that we have. So while you're talking about that, go ahead.
So I'm going to say that definitely I went vegan for my health. And I want to say one thing that I want to put out there in the beginning of this video is don't wait until you're sick to change how you're eating. Because if you wait, it may be too late. And that is not what you want. So the same with, like Tionna said, I have family members that have chronic health diseases. My mother died of a massive heart attack at the age of 60. She was taking pills that we didn't even know she was taking until we went to clean out her room. So there are things in your family history that you may not even know about. But also, for most of us, Black and brown community, we do know that our communities are full of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, all of these chronic illnesses that, like Tionna said, only 10% of those are hereditary, meaning Just because your mama had diabetes doesn't mean that it's hereditary for you to get it. And even a lot of times, whether it's type 2 or type 1, you can still, with a diet, reverse it. So that is number one as to why I went vegan, for my health. But when we get into how to stay vegan, is that what we're going to, Tionna? Was that the
Yeah,
next one?
how to start.
How to
We kind
start.
of already addressed that a little bit. And there is a question around how to start, but how to start and how to stay consistent.
Okay, so definitely the first thing you want to do to start is to start changing some of your favorite meals and veganize them. You will realize it is easier to veganize something than you think. Now, don't be trying to veganize a steak in the beginning. You're not going to do that. So,
We're not veganizing steaks. We're not taking that on. That's too major,
you
okay?
can get there. We're there now. But I'm saying in the
We
beginning,
we are there.
try to veganize things like lasagna, spaghetti,
Right.
vegan meatloaf, things like that is going to be still hardy for you, but easier to veganize. The winter's here, so chili, things like that, super
Mm-hmm.
easy to veganize, and your family will love it too. So get the meals that you're true to and that you make, because most of the time, no matter who you are, we rotate the same meals in our life because those are the things that we love. Those are our comfort foods. Veganize your comfort foods, and I'm telling you, like from there, you can start adding. Then you can start maybe trying 1 or 2 different recipes each month, and you may find, oh, I'm gonna swap out what I used to love and have this as a regular item in my life. So that is the main thing for starting, and also having your why. Everybody, y'all have heard this 1,000 times. If you do not have a reason, a solid to the core reason for why you're choosing this lifestyle, it ain't gonna work. So whether that
Right.
you're choosing it for your health because you have noticed health issues, you're choosing it for your health because you see the health issues in your family history, you're choosing it so that your kids can have something to follow and recognize, hey, if mom can do it, if dad can do it, I can do it. So be the light for your family. Be the one lighting the path. Like if
Right.
you, whatever reason is, though, it needs to be something that is going to keep you dedicated to this lifestyle when you're not really motivated to it. Okay. So that's a
Yeah.
big thing you have to know
Yeah.
why you're doing.
Right.
As far as staying vegan goes, it's kind of the same thing. When you have that why from the very beginning, you
Mm-hmm.
have that to lean on. So, and also when the more you read, follow people on Instagram, on social media, get to look, check them out, make sure they're real, make sure they're who they say they are. Dive deep into their profiles, into their pages, look at the foods they're sharing, look at how they're looking. Is the person that you're following, are they looking like what the goals you're trying to reach are? Because if you're trying to reach certain goals and you're following someone and they're not giving you
Woo!
what you're chasing, then you might want to look somewhere else. And that's just reality of it. I follow lots of people on here, but the ones that I am a true follower of, those are the people that I know I'm striving to get cleaner with my diet. I'm striving to, that person is offering me something that I'm looking for. So as much as vegan junk food is wonderful and delicious, that's not gonna do anything for my health. So, and I do follow people that create vegan junk food, but I know as far as my journey goes, that's not the person that I'm following for my journey, for my lifestyle. So I definitely recommend you follow people that are juicing, people that are eating high raw vegan, people that are making delicious, creative, plant-based, whole plant-based foods. Those are the people you want to be following so that you can get inspired. People that are willing to share with you, especially on when you're newly vegan, you want to look for people that you're following that are giving you information. It's lots of information out there, y'all. It is. You just have to be looking for it. So get the information and have your why. Those reasons
Right.
are going to
Exactly.
keep you vegan.
Right. And you touched on so many good points. So I definitely, and welcome to everybody that has joined and tagged people and coming in and out. Welcome, and more welcome. Okay. So we're having a plant-based conversation here about just all the, things that are happening in this space, because to some people it's new, it's exciting. Some people are revisiting this because they've tried before. Some people are, like, hey, what they talking about today? So just kind of being nosy a little bit. That's okay too. Come on back in, stay in. And so we were just talking about starting and stopping. And if you're not following myself or Southern Vegan Eats, please do so. I'm at Dr. DRTIONNA Jenkins, JENKINS. I almost forgot my name there. And at Southern Vegan Eats as well, because we have been in this lifestyle collectively for 16 years. We actually met on these interwebs, okay? This is what we do every day, every single day. And so we were just, having a conversation about what does that look like, right? And why do you stay and how are you consistent? And why did you start? So again, I said I primarily started because of health reasons, but I definitely stay consistent because, agreeing with you, it is about who I am following, right? What I am seeing every day. And understanding my why. My why is because I, want to be and desire to be healthy. It's just not something I put out. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's not, I'm feeling good today. Like even when I don't want to, I am up.
Yes.
Making my meals. I am up juicing. I am up going to the gym. I'm doing what I need to do. I am meditating. I'm praying. I'm surrounding myself with people who have like minds. I talk to individuals and make time for those folks to be in my life.
Yes.
Who are similar to me. Okay. So when you're first starting, that may be a little challenging because you may be the only person in your family doing this.
Yes.
Okay. So that's another question that we have here too, is that, I am pretty much for the most part, the only 100% whole food, plant-based vegan in my entire family. Okay. Not just, my household with my husband and my girls, but my entire family, like on both sides, paternal, maternal, people I have at third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 10th cousins, my entire family. Now, in my household, because I am the person that cooks the majority of the food, they eat a lot of things that I do eat, right? And it's taken time, it's transitioned over time, but you may be the only person. So you definitely got to connect yourself with folks who are really living this lifestyle, and, providing, freebies and things of that nature. But when individuals have like cooking courses or consultations or cookbooks, like we both have here, make sure you're getting those things as well, because invest in yourself. Everything's not going to be free. So let me repeat that again. Everything is not going to be free. When I first started, right, exactly. I invest in, and even when I first started, and even now, if somebody is dropping a raw vegan cookbook or challenge or a group or something like that, I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and I'm supporting that person, right? Because I follow and believe in them. But two, because I need to challenge myself. I mean, we look, we fabulous on this live, but we want to continue to be more fabulous, okay?
And we both talk about what you just talked about, supporting each other, supporting people in the community. We purchase books from people that are out here that have their new cookbooks. We purchase lives. We purchase classes. We purchased Dr. Harris's class that he did. It was a 4-hour one Saturday.
Yeah, 4-hour course.
You got to invest in yourself. Invest in your health. It is worth every penny, because if you don't invest now, you will invest later.
Exactly. Hey there. I think is that Katie, Sally, Jan Green. You're from, is that Meritus Island, going vegan for health issues? Yes. Make sure you are following both of us at Dr. Tionna Jenkins and at Southern Vegan Eats. And I want to make sure, it was a question down here. I think we both already answered it. Best way to start a plant-based lifestyle. We talked about that, going through a couple of pointers there. Make sure you're following individuals who are really, promoting and living this lifestyle. Read, research and read more. And I'm just not talking about, from health news links and things of that nature. You need to invest in various books. Are there any books that you would recommend that you, besides your own cookbook, of course, are there any cookbooks that you would recommend?
Yeah, I just finished Vegetation Over Medication. That was
right.
A couple of months ago. That is by Dr. Bobby Price. That book is phenomenal.
Right.
Very, very good book. I also, look, I got a stack of books over here, y'all.
Look, I'm looking at my books back here.
I'm always reading. So I also do a lot of gardening. So I have a lot of gardening books.
Yeah.
I have some, I'm going to show you one for raw food. This is old, child. It's been through the ringer.
Right.
So this one here,
I'm trying to see my book. Mhm.
It's a raw food
Oh
essential.
yes,
It's a
yes, yes,
thick
yes.
book, y'all, but it
Mhm.
has lots of raw. So when I'm eating heavily raw vegan, or when I'm doing one of my raw vegan challenges, if I don't feel like getting creative, it's nice to be able to turn to something. And this is not only just recipes, but it's also informative and gives you information.
Mhm.
That's one. And I just finished reading. I'm gonna post. What I'll do is post a list in my story of some of the books that I
Yeah,
read this year that were
I'll do
vegan,
that too.
healthy lifestyle books, because I have read several, and amazing, just amazing. There's one
Yeah.
called Thrive that I read. It was really good. But lots and lots of books, because that is one thing about the lifestyles too. You want to be thriving,
Mhm.
not surviving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk
You
about it. Talk about it. We don't want to be surviving. We want to be thriving.
Yeah, you want to be thriving. We can all survive. You can survive taking pills every day. I don't want that. I want to thrive,
Right.
where I'm not taking pills every day. I'm living the same lifestyle. So you guys, yeah, we'll post those in our story, some of the books for you to check out,
Yeah.
because that's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, extremely important. And I will say too, like I have lots of raw books as well, and I post those in the live too, because I going through the protocol for my lifestyle, I do a lot of raw foods as well. So I'll definitely post those. I have a real old school book. It's too far away for me to grab, but I will post it too. And I don't even necessarily think you can get it anymore. It's with Dick Gregory,
Oh, so
his book.
you might have to go and either look on Amazon, eBay, somewhere
Mhm.
like that to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like one of the very first books that I got was from Dick Gregory. And he talked about him, going on his various journey from, doing vegetarian, vegan, and things like that. And really brought some context and some light to it, but he had a few recipes in it too. But it was really around education of like the lifestyle and why he did it. And it was for environmental and social justice reasons and, all that kind of stuff. So I'll definitely post that. In my stories too, so that you all can grab that. So let me get the other question that was down here. Best juice and whole food plant-based recipes to lower blood pressure. Yeah, so wow, where can I start? All of them.
And hibiscus tea is a really good thing to help
Mm-hmm.
lower your blood pressure. But sometimes when you're lowering your blood pressure with these natural remedies, you do have to be careful, because it's really going to lower your blood
It's
pressure.
really gonna
So
lower your blood
yeah,
pressure, right?
but
It
hibiscus
is
tea,
definitely.
don't add anything sweet. You don't need to sweeten it. If you do need to sweeten it, then use something like raw agave, raw honey. Use something like that. But you don't really need to. I enjoy the taste of it. But if you were to have a cup of hibiscus tea once a day for a month, you're going to notice a difference in your blood pressure.
Right, right, right. And then just honestly decreasing processed foods out of your lifestyle, right? And so we talk about that quite a bit. And I'm going to keep on reiterating that because it's nothing wrong with targeting your questions, right? So whether it's high blood pressure, lupus, or anything, of that nature, totally understand that. But it's so many things that you can do for your lifestyle and in your lifestyle that will address a lot of different issues. So I am one of the ones that I don't believe that this lifestyle is a cure-all. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let me just go ahead and say that right now. And this is not any type of medical advice that I'm, giving to anybody or we're sharing here on this live or anything like that, because it's not a quick fix.
Right.
Okay. It's not a quick fix. It's not something you can do. Now you may start out with like a 21-day challenge. Okay. We're going to talk about that too. You may want to start out with something like that, but this is not a quick fix. It's not something that's going to happen, overnight or, things like that. So you're talking here again, 8 years, in the game. Right. You as well. Right. It's a lifestyle. So it's not, so once we call it detox and retoxing. So once I, stop, eating this way and, start increasing my, living the lifestyle or going to a cooking class or, something like that, then I'm going to start back eating, my fried pork chops and chitlins and whatever else, ribs.
Yeah.
Right.
Or that when you go back to when you start retoxing, you're going to notice that your body reacts in a way that you didn't even know it could, because you may end up with more illnesses when you retox than before you detoxed. So that is really important too. When you're detoxing, you need to be detoxing with the mindset that you are changing your lifestyle. And you heard it so many times. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. That is real. That is true. That is 100% true. If you have a mindset that you're going vegan to lose 30, 40 pounds, you're going vegan to lose some extra fat, you're going vegan to get your blood pressure in order, but you're not going vegan for long term, for a lifestyle, I'm telling you right now, you don't know what that can set you up for when you start to detox your body with those things that your body just isn't understanding how to process.
Right, exactly. So, and honestly, you can make yourself sicker. So I noticed that, so in this lifestyle and, in this journey, and you're going to learn, right? So you may eat something that you don't necessarily know is not vegan, because let me tell you something. Everybody's around here making vegan products, okay?
Really vegan, but they tell you that it is.
It ain't really vegan. And so for folks who are really in this space, if I eat something that has, non-dairy milk in, or eat something that has cow milk in it, or has something that is not, vegan friendly, I can immediately taste it, because I have eaten this way for so long, and my body will have a reaction to it. So, let's be mindful of folks. Like, I know everybody's, happy and new and trying to make vegan products and making some amazing vegan products, but, don't play with it. Like, don't play with it.
True.
Seriously.
It's very true.
Because you can really make people ill in doing so. And so, again, you don't want to detox your body, clean your body out, go through some type of challenge, start, your cooking classes or things like that, or purchase a cookbook and start eating. And then you're retoxing again. So this is not something where you can go and drink, what is the thing everybody drink? What is that?
Sea moss, child. That everybody's using.
Yes, sea moss.
So I don't know if it's like they're drinking it, throwing it in their smoothies. They're using the sea moss, and then they're like, "Yeah, you can't."
So you can't throw the sea moss in the smoothies and then go have a bologna sandwich. That's not gonna work. Okay. And we're laughing about it. I mean, I understand the struggle, because I've been there before. But that's not gonna work. Having some hibiscus tea and then, having a slab of ribs, that's not gonna work. Hey, yoga girly, you eat some chickpeas? Yes, ma'am. Look, delicious. I may make me a chickpea salad after this, a tuna salad or whatever. So look, I want to pause too, for any more questions that anybody has around this, this lifestyle starting. Any questions that you have that you want to address that you're interested in. Again, welcome folks who are coming in, tagging and sharing and all that good stuff. If you're not following us, please do follow us both at Dr. Tionna Jenkins and Southern Vegan Eats. We talked about starting and stopping and how to stay consistent, and what if you're the only person in your family who, may be practicing this lifestyle. And let me just say this, if you are not alone. Okay. There are a lot of us, especially in the Black and brown community, we may be the only ones starting out. So let's speak some light to that, sis, and how you're able to survive and go through that, and some of the things that come along with being the only one.
Yeah. So in my household, I'm the only vegan. My husband eats everything. And it's just right now, all of my kids they're either in college or full grown adults living out on their own. But so it's just me, my husband, and my 16-year-old. My 16-year-old eats everything too, but he does eat more heavy plant-based vegan. For me, I only cook vegan, so I'm not cooking nobody a steak. So for me, but the reason I decided that was, number one, because I knew for myself, if I go in there and I'm cooking things for you guys and that smell is in my nose, I knew I didn't have the discipline to do that. And then by the time I got the discipline to be able to do it, I couldn't stand the smell of it. So I was like, I'm not cooking that for anybody. So I don't prepare those things for my family, and they're okay with that, because what I do prepare is delicious and they eat that. So sometimes that may look like them just eating whatever I prepare. Like for Christmas, we had Italian Christmas. I did vegan lasagna. And so everybody enjoyed that. There was no animal products at Christmas. We had a vegan Christmas. So things like that, it's really helpful to make sure that you're giving your family good vegan options, because that's going to help you along the journey. If your family is still eating meat, when you choose to dine out, make sure that you look over those menus before you say yes to going to a restaurant and be stuck with a dry salad. So, so just
That's $20.
That's $20 dry salad. Make sure you have checked the menu. So things like that. There are people, like Tionna said, when going vegan 10 years ago and going vegan now, it's a life changer. It's a game changer, because you can find totally vegan restaurants, vegetarian restaurants with lots of good vegan options, and you can find traditional restaurants that have vegan menus. So you're not stuck in this box of only having a salad, depending upon where you choose to go. So just always make sure you check that out. As far as being the Lone Star vegan, though, you do have those moments where my husband's like, "Babe, we could go to steakhouse," and he ain't done that in years, thank God. But I'm like, I'm not going to a steakhouse. I don't want to smell all that. So in the beginning, it would have been hard, because I did like steak, to sit in a steakhouse, watch eat a steak, and I'm sitting over here eating a leafy dry salad with cucumbers and tomatoes. So, so we had to talk about those things and talk about, babe, this is for my health. He's on board with it, even though it's not his lifestyle. So be open to your family and friends, your friends that you go out, that you normally hang out and do dinner with. Change those dinners to, hey, let's take a walk in the park. You don't have to always be eating when you're meeting up with friends. I meet friends for maybe coffee, and then we go for a walk. Or I'll meet friends and we go check out a new garden in the neighborhood. All types of things you can do that does not involve eating. So you may have to change what you normally do for entertainment, because a lot of us do center food around entertainment. So just change that. Do something.
Yes, we do. Right. And plant-based, Nicole, I see what you're saying. You've been eating plant-based for 12 years, and I just feel great, especially when I'm eating whole foods. I eat about 8%, 20% whole foods diet, and about 20% junk, and a high raw diet. Good balance. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Exactly what we're saying, right? So it's okay to enjoy some of those things. Like I just discussed on here, we have a whole food manufacturing company where we we make in our commercial kitchen all of the vegan goodies. Okay, so look, I do want you to be having some vegan cookies, okay, and some jams and granola, okay, because we produce that at Oneida Lee Foods, okay. But that doesn't necessarily need to be all of your diet. If you're really trying to go for the healthier version. And I will say this too, that even with our food manufacturing, our products, I'm very cognizant in working with the food scientists around how much sugar we have within the products, gluten-free options available and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, it's delicious, because that's another motto of mine too. I don't eat nasty food. So I don't produce nasty food. I don't eat nasty food. Okay. So it has to taste well. But we are very mindful around those things, around, the health components too, that even comes in vegan packaged food. So if you have not, go over to @Oneida, ONITALEE Foods, FOODS, and that is our packaged goods that can be mailed nationwide, and are of our vegan cookies, jam, and granola, and it is amazing. It's delicious.
And she's right. They are amazing. They are amazing.
Amazing. Cooked from scratch, cooked with lots of love, all from the good old state of Arkansas. Okay, look, down here in the good South, shipping out across the world. So, but yeah, so going back on topic around family and things of that nature. I know a lot of people who have a lot of big support, right? So family members cheer them on, their spouses or, their partners or whatever cheer them on. They're excited about them. There's some people who don't necessarily have all that support, okay? So you do have to understand that folks may not understand it. And although it doesn't feel good, you have to, this just is my opinion, have to know that they're coming from a place of not understanding, right? Because you have been taught for all these years about, this is tradition. This is, how grandma used to cook it, or this is how papa used to make this, and, all these kind of things. But you're bringing in something new. So we always say with jokey joke, don't bring any new recipes around Thanksgiving. Don't bring any new recipes around Christmas. Don't be trying to, get something you got off TikTok and all this other kind of stuff. Y'all see the jokes that people will be having out there, but you have to know that these things are ingrained in families. But I'm telling you what's also ingrained in families as well is the high concentration of unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
Bathe in all kind of non-vegan foods, period, right? But bathe in all types of sugar and salt and all the things that, the reason why family members are on diabetes medication, the high blood pressure, having all these challenges and things like that. Nobody's talking about that,
right?
Okay?
Right.
But we're making fun of or either poking fun of folks who are trying to either do whole food plant-based 100% or even like 20 or 30% or 50%. So you do have to, understand that you may get a little bit of like meanness towards you around changing your diet and changing your lifestyle and like, oh, you're gonna be consistent, like you're gonna be serious about this kind of thing. And so I know I experienced that, and it did not feel good, but I had to make the choice that this is what I'm doing, right? I don't want to live with pre-diabetes or diabetes. I don't necessarily want to have heart disease or any of those things. I believe you shared earlier about your mom, but my mom passed too. She actually passed this year, January 2022. And then my father passed when I was 13 years old. From heart disease, heart attack, and his father passed from heart disease and heart attack as well. And then my mom passed from, she had, over the years, it's a culmination of various chronic, issues and things like that. Well, diabetes, heart issues, and also kidney issues as well. So, these are the things that we don't necessarily want to always talk about, but we have to talk about those things because, again, let me reiterate, 90% of these chronic diseases can be preventable, but it takes the work of changing your food. Food. Food.
Absolutely.
Okay? I don't even want to get into, or maybe I should, because, we do all this exercise and I'm an avid, fitness person, okay? You cannot erase your health outcomes, bad diets by going on a Stairmaster for an hour or running 2 miles or lifting weights and all those things, right? That does not remove, let me put on my science hat here, it does not remove the pericardial fat, right, around your heart. It does not remove the visceral fat around your stomach, all these different things, okay? You have to change your diet, and it has to go down to the cellular level, okay? Right? Because you cannot change cellular aging with running a marathon.
It's true though, but people don't recognize that, and that's why if you do go to the gym or if you have friends that go to the gym often and your friends still look the same they did before they started going to the gym, it's because they have not changed what's on their plate. And that it's tough because sometimes people are paying trainers to work them out and they're still at home eating everything they want to eat. So you're not going to change. But not only are you not going to change physically, you're not going to change the
internally.
The internal. You're not going to change it. And that should be what you're chasing. So if you're chasing, now trust me, me and Tionna talk about all the time. I want to look good. I always want to look good.
Baby,
I always want to look nice.
I like a good curve, okay? I like a good curve.
I always want my husband to look at me and desire me. So I'm definitely wanting that. But more importantly, I want good health. And that's what I'm chasing. So when you're out here chasing things, if you're chasing the wrong thing, you may find it, well, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not seeing the results. And it's because your eyes on the wrong prize.
Right. And that's not to say that you cannot look externally a certain way. So we have to, go into this whole body dysmorphia. And I know we're kind of getting a little bit off the conversation, but there's so many things that go into this lifestyle because, it's not about you looking a certain way on the outside. Because I know lots of people who look extremely fit.
Yes.
Okay. but extremely fit people also pass from heart disease, heart attacks, and diabetes and things of that nature. And folks are confused because they're like, oh, but they worked out all the time. They were so healthy. They ran a marathon. They did this, they were in so many competitions, and, they were cyclists, or, whatever the case may be. And that's because the diet, the lifestyle, chronic stress, again, is extremely, it's a real thing, okay? So all these things weigh in that have nothing to do with physical fitness. And I'm not saying that you should not be physically active, because your body deserves movement, right? I believe in movement. I work at least 5 to 6 times a week. Didn't necessarily start that way. When I first started, I used to do about 3 to 4 times a week. But now 5 to 6 times a week. I believe in vitamin D. I am in Arkansas, so when the sun is out, I'm out. I'm getting those vitamin D downloads, okay? Real chocolate skin. I tan very heavily in the summer. So definitely believe in all of that. But what we have to stop thinking is that you can work out so hard, and then you can just consume whatever you want to consume. And that goes from everything to like overly processed food, whether it's vegan or non-vegan, inundated things with sugar and cholesterol, all kind of smoking, drinking, okay, all these various things that, our bodies are just not meant to consume. So again, welcome everybody that's here. I don't know if you have any questions on your end, sis, or not, down there. But if you have questions, you can type it in right here on the add comment, or you can put a question mark, or where that little question mark symbol is. You can add your question there as well, and we can get to it as either one of us. So having a plant-based conversation, because we're starting the new year and we want to do this plant-based, okay? We want to get into this thing. Since you want to talk about some of the things that we have coming up that we're going to be announcing as people are coming in and tagging people and sharing and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit.
So we are, the first thing that we have coming up is that we're going to be doing a cooking class together. It's going to be phenomenal. You guys are going to want to jump in on that. So, when I tell you it's going to be phenomenal, you're going to learn, especially if you are new to this lifestyle, you're going to learn how to prepare something that not only you're going to love, but your family's going to love. And as we've said before, it is really important when you're the only vegan, when you're the lone vegan, to be able to take a dish to someone's home when it's the holiday or birthday party or barbecue. You want to be able to take something that everyone can enjoy. And that way it kind of takes the pressure off of people giving you those weird questions. So definitely want to join us for the cooking class that we have coming up. And that's going to be in January. And then I'll let Tionna tell you about the next thing we're going to do, which is awesome.
Yeah, so, okay, well, look, first things first, we did this. Yay to us, okay? We've been talking about doing lives together like forever, so we did this, and we're going to be continuing to do more of these. But 2, our cooking class that we're going to do, it's going to be virtual, so I want y'all to get your folks, get your coins together, get your dollars and all that good stuff, and come on in the room and learn how to cook these amazing dishes. I cook from a Southern palate, so to speak. So you do as well, but you have traveled the globe all over. So we have a mix of, different things that we're going to be bringing, but it's going to be amazing. So make sure you're checking and staying attuned to, my page, Southern Vegan Eats and all that good stuff. Our cooking class is going to come up, and you can register for that. Again, it's going to be virtual. It's going to be live, and once you register for that, then you can get the recipes and, watch us and cook along with us, or just kind of watch, because sometimes people just want to watch because they have no idea what to do, what to get, but you'll get the cooking list and all the ingredients. And then we're going to be doing, so excited! We're going to be doing a challenge together as well, 21-day vegan challenge, because we really do want folks to really transition into this lifestyle, with help and with guidance. Now, our cooking class is going to be January-ish. Then we're going to put that together, and we're going to, let you all have time to register for that, tell your people, get your folks. And then the 21-day vegan challenge is going to be, around about March or so, because we already know that you all already got your challenges for January, okay? But in March, you're going to need a little bit of help, okay? Because you're going to hopefully not fell off, but maybe just a little bit. So we're going to come on back and reiterate that.
Right.
with a little bit more extra help and supporting. Go to 21 days with us live, and we're going to have some sessions in there where we're talking to you, answering questions, going through recipes. You're going to be able to have some downloads as well, on some recipes and things like that. And we're going to be talking about some of the signs and symptoms that happen as you're transitioning into this lifestyle, and some delicious food, because I'm going to tell you something, we season over here.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like maybe the number one tip for transitioning to a vegan diet: season your food. Season your food.
Please season your food.
Eat heavy salt either. It just means think of herbs and spices and all that. Add your salt, of course, but season your food, y'all. Please season your food.
Please. Yes, because if you don't, you may not stay long. Okay.
May not stay long.
You may not stay long, okay? Because you have to, I mean, in all honesty, you do have to change your palate, okay? Because your palate and your taste buds are so used to so much sugar and salt and everything else that's been going on there. And you have to, like, you know, make it palatable, right? And that's a lot of challenges that folks have too. They're like, oh my goodness, I ate somebody's vegan food. It was horrible. Yep. It didn't have any seasoning on it, things like that. So that's a sign that either A, that person has already changed their palate and they're used to eating that clean, because there's some things that I can eat that my husband and my girls are like, oh no, that's too healthy, mama. You know, that's too clean. But it could be a sign that that person, whoever you're eating from, or you've, taken a class or maybe supported their pop-up or whatever the case may be, that they, can now eat like that. Yeah. It's also a sign that person may not know how to cook. Okay.
That's the truth. Either way, if
you not know how to cook,
go find vegan food from somewhere else.
What's that? Get somebody else to do it.
Absolutely.
You may go somewhere else. So that's a surefire sign that somebody may not know how to cook. Okay. And you may need to just go somewhere else. We're not gonna badmouth them. You just may need to go somewhere else. But then there's also a sign too that maybe they are new themselves, right? And so they're trying to figure out things. So I just try to give people a little grace. I'm not a basher. I just be like, okay, that's interesting, and I just move on. That's just what I do. So yeah, but yeah, so we have our 21-day vegan challenge coming up in March, and so you all stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, I think we went through all the questions.
We did.
What is stopping you from starting? So that's the biggest thing. What is stopping you from starting right now? If you're on this live, if you tag folks in this live, what is stopping you from starting today? It's extremely important. Again, 2023 is about to roll up. For one, personally, I had to stop saying that I was going to start and not be consistent. So again, it goes back to that, your why. Yeah. What's stopping you? Whether it's family, whether it's pressure, whether it's what people may say about you. And a lot of times we'll be like, oh, I don't care what such and such thinks, or I don't care what people think. And you really do.
Those are your family. Those are your love. You do. So even though that tough skin tells us that we don't care and it doesn't hurt my feelings, but it does. It hurts your feelings. So, and that's just the reality of life. We all, we want to portray that it's okay. I let it roll off my back. But a lot of times you think you're letting it roll off your back, and you get home and you're thinking, why she say that? Or why did he say that? So it is important to us what the people that love us and the people that we love, what they're saying about us. So I know for me, just like Tionna said, one of the things with switching over to vegan, I was even thinking about what I was going to be missing out on. And I had to change my mindset and say, okay, don't focus on what you're going to be missing out on. Focus on what you're going to be gaining. So that was a big thing.
Right.
I was in the beginning thinking, man, my daughter's wedding came up like a month after I went vegan. I was like, what's the eat at this wedding? so it's things like that. When you think you can overthink it, or you can talk yourself out of something really great. So if you have any fear or anxiety surrounding going vegan, find your why. And I'm telling you, it will push you forward. It will propel you to a different place where your mind can be in a different headset. And find yourself a vegan friend. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have family and you don't have anyone in your life that's vegan, now me, fortunately, as I said, I don't have anybody in my immediate family, but my sister is vegan, her husband is vegan. So those are the two vegans in my family. We have some vegetarians throughout, but as far as having somebody that I can talk to on the regular, me and Tionna, she said we talk about 3-4 times a week. We talk more than that. We talk so much, but we talk all the time. And but it's nice to have someone that is like-minded, that can talk to you. You can bounce ideas off of. You can talk about different recipes, or maybe making tweaks. You can talk about, hey, I tried this restaurant, I tried this recipe. You can have somebody to actually communicate with about the lifestyle that you're experiencing. And it's kind of like life in general, where you have someone that you're learning from and someone that you're going through the process with. It's nice to have someone in both areas, because if you have someone that you're learning from, you have someone that's already been on that journey and they can give you some guidance and some tips.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have someone you're going through it with, then you can just bounce off ideas from each other. Like, hey, girl, did you experience this? Or hey, guys, how was it for you? So definitely get somebody in your life that's living the lifestyle.
Right. And, you know, and again, love all those points. Couldn't agree more. I think the most, and this again is an assumption, and if people have thoughts to, you know, share them down here, either in the question or the comment section. But I think that people, the question is, what is stopping you from starting? I think it has a lot to do with family, and your social network, right? So just not, you know, your you know, blood connection, but folks that are in your social network who you have been around forever, right? If you're thinking about what you're going to possibly miss out on when anybody has functions or birthday parties or gatherings of any kind, and what do you do with that? I bring a lot of dishes, so I'm just, you know, gonna be honest there. So either I eat before I go, and again, I've been in this thing for a minute, so they already know. Tionna's either gonna bring something or we need to prepare something. Yeah, that's just it.
That's it.
So
that's
now.
Right.
In the beginning, was it like that? No, you know, it wasn't. And it was a lot of like, oh, you know, you can go ahead and eat this corn, and I put a slice of bacon in there to season it up. Well, that's not vegan, because it's a piece of bacon in the corn, you know, or in the green beans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, so it took a little time for them to understand that. But either A, I'm going to eat before I go. Right. So I'm not full. I'm not hungry. B, they're going to, you know, prepare something, or I'm bringing something. That's just how it goes. But I think a lot of times, again, people don't start because of family, because of networks, functions. You know, they're like, oh, I want to go out and have a good time, great time. I'm right now in my life, that is a good time and a great time to me. Right. So me missing out on not having, you know, I don't know, fried chicken or whatever, you know, everybody else is having, that's okay, because honey, you can, you know, throw them fried mushrooms over here if that's the case, you know, because my thoughts around where I want my health to be and where it needs to be supersedes that of enjoying, you know, whatever that meal was for that night, because I'm, you know, not going to be well. Okay. But again, that's a mindset, and you have to get there. You're not going to get there overnight. Okay. Well, I'll just say for me, I didn't. So it took time. So again, your family, your networks, other thing, people are like, it's just too much information. Everybody talking about they vegan. Somebody got sea moss. Somebody over here doing this. It's just too much information. So it's just an overwhelm of information. People are just like, oh my goodness. Right.
That's the main thing. Is starting where you are. I see Jazzy Naturals. She said, I think my mindset, I have stroke and heart disease in my family. I know I need to change. And I think that's huge. Knowing that you need to change, that's already in your mindset. You already know that you need to change. You already know that there's stroke and heart disease in your family. So you already have the knowledge that, hey, I need to do something different so that I can get different results. Shout out to Jazzy Naturals, y'all. My dope.
My Jazz is on today. Look, I got somebody else on. But Jazz, you know I love her earrings, honey.
Y'all see these beautiful earrings I'm always wearing? She's the jewelry queen. So go check her out. She be cooking. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so
Yes, honey. Come on, honey. I wear Jazzy's on TV.
yes,
Jazzy, natural. Look, love her.
Yeah.
Her hand, her gift, her gifted hands and making jewelry.
Yes.
So love her. Always rock her stuff. I should have today. When we do our next live, I'm gonna have on my Jazzies, okay?
Let's switch it up.
But yeah, so I think that has a lot to do with it too. Your social network, your family, just too much information out there. You don't know what's real, what's not, and access, right? So there's not a lot of good vegan options. Okay, so we have a few restaurants here in my city. I myself do pop-ups that people can come to under the Plated Healthy business and umbrella. And so, but like brick and mortar, there are a few here, and there are a few non-vegan restaurants where they'll offer some options, but it's not always good. So I think sometimes that's a challenge for folks. And then folks having to relearn how to cook stuff.
Yeah. Another thing too, you know what? I think I'm gonna touch on this because I think this is really important. Keeping it simple. When you are transitioning to a vegan lifestyle and you're trying to do too much, you're trying to find because like Tionna said, there's so much information out there that it's overwhelming. When you're trying to pull all these different things that people are throwing at you, alkaline, CMOS, all these different things, raw vegan, all these things are coming at you. Just like, I want it all. I want the help from everywhere. You may eventually get to those places, but for right now, keep it simple, because keeping it simple is going to keep you in the game. It's going to keep you where you need to be. And especially if you're coming from a place where you are used to being able to go to a restaurant and dine with friends, and now you're in this vegan lifestyle and you're like, there's not really many options around me. Keeping it simple will also make that easier for you. Maybe have friends over for a game night and put together, have everybody bring a vegan dish. Hey, we're going to have a vegan game night. Y'all, everybody bring a little vegan hors d'oeuvre or something. But you're going to have to, if you're not used to being in the kitchen, you're going to have to get used to being in the kitchen. So keep it simple. I love me and Tionna both. I can speak for us when I say we don't really chew food before noon, and sometimes not until 2 o'clock, because it's like, give me a juice, give me a smoothie, give me some lemon water, give me some tea, baby. That's all I need.
Look, got my water right here.
Noon is not even, now in the beginning, or for you may be someone who needs that solid food before noon. But for me, I just, the longer you're on the lifestyle, you'll get to those other milestones. Don't try to reach those milestones in the beginning of your journey. Just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And the other day, again, speaking for us here, I just had like some brown beans, green beans and potatoes, and cornbread. Like, so simple. So simple.
Yeah.
And I told, look, I called you. I was like, I think I want some brown Charlies. Because I think you was making some peas, and I forgot what you was cooking. And I was like, I'm going to make some of that. And I ate on it for like 2 days. Yes. Like, okay.
To you, baby.
I ate on it for like 2 days. So mind you, now, some of you all who are here in Arkansas, you follow, I cook on TV too, Channel 7 and some other outlets. And so we'll do fancy stuff, on TV at times, but I also keep it simple as well. So I think for the last segment I did in December, if I'm not mistaken, for Channel 7, I did like some lentils, some jasmine rice, and some grilled veggies.
Yes.
Now, like that, and that is so simple, okay? And I'm saying that's simple because I know some people are like, oh my goodness, I can't boil a pot of water. Okay, if you can't boil a pot of water, please follow us, okay? And come to the cooking classes as well. That we do. I do cooking classes individually, but we're going to be doing some collaborations around cooking classes as well coming up in January. So if you're interested, make sure you are following us. You can also email info@plateithealthy.com, info@plateithealthy.com. And the website is plateithealthy.com. But you can also email, give the people your email.
southernvegan@yahoo.com. So you can send emails to me there, and we'll give you the information But yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you're following us. You'll see it pop up in our stories on our reels, because y'all know reels is the thing now. But you'll see us share that information when those things are coming your way, because you definitely want to be a part of it.
Right, right. So again, very simple recipes. That's where you want to start. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily start out doing something like, you know, barbecue ribs
You know,
or
veganize some spaghetti, make some veggie curry, do something like that. You know, roast a tray of.
something very, very
I'm gonna
simple.
tell you how simple I keep it. At the top of the week, I make a large pot of beans. I roast a large tray of veggies, and I prefer quinoa, so I make a pot of quinoa. And throughout the week, I'm like, I normally have to roast the veggies again, but I have those. Those are my interchangeable items. I might have it on a salad. I might have it in some soup. I might have it in a wrap. And then I juice. We both are avid juicers, so I make my juice, and I juice 2 or 3 times a week. Have fresh juice, and so things like that. Keeping it
And smoothies too.
smoothies. Yeah, it's just so it does not have to be an elaborate meal. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It just has to be delicious and nutritious.
With some seasoning.
With some seasoning.
All right. So I think we have been on here for a good time here. And I don't see any questions on my end. I don't know if you have any questions on your end. Okay. Well, again, thank you all for joining this plant-based conversation. Look for more of these. Look, we're making a commitment to do more of these. Look, oh goodness, on IG and the live and the interwebs. But make sure you're following us both. Make sure you're tagging and sharing this live here. And I'm going to save it and download it as well. And look for our cooking class and our 21-day vegan challenge coming up mid-March, and our cooking class coming up in January.
We'll post our vegan books that we've been reading in our story.
Yeah.
Check those out so that you can see what vegan knowledge you can grab onto. All right, we'll talk with y'all later.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you all.